I picked the same question as the assessment for the position, velocity, acceleration standard. There were some mistakes I made. I didn't list all the vectors and the numbers that I knew from the question. And also, I did not understand that I couldn't add the numbers in the x direction and the y direction together. So once I found that out, these problems uh, more clear to me. So the first problem, we have the 1.3 liters per second in x direction, which is the initial velocity, at 1.3 seconds, which is initial time, and negative 1.3 meters per second in y direction, that is the initial velocity in y direction, and 2.3 seconds, which is the final time. And in this question, I'm trying to find the average acceleration of this car. So, uh, average, average acceleration is delta v vector divided by the delta t, which equals negative 1.3, because it's final minus the initial, which is 0 minus 1.3, becomes negative 1.3, minus 1.3 because it's 0 minus negative 1.3 becomes positive, but the delta, to get the delta t, delta v, the formula is final minus, which is minus the initial, and it is divided by the delta t, which is 2.3 minus 1.3 equals 1 second. So after the math, the average acceleration comes out to be negative 1.3 in the x direction minus 1.3 in the y direction, meters per second squared. For the second, so in the second problem, I set the math right, but I forgot to divide the numbers by the delta t, and I did not show my work to how to get to that point. So in the initial r, 1.3 meters in x direction and 1.3 meters in y direction, and we'll have 45.1 meters in x direction and negative 28 meters in y direction for the final r. And for the delta t is 102 seconds minus 1.3 seconds, which is 98.9 seconds. And for the velocity, average velocity is delta r divided by the delta t, and it is 45.1 x hat minus 28, 28 meters y hat minus 1.3 meters x hat minus 1.3 meters y hat divide that by 98.9 seconds. If I do the math, delta x should be 43.8, and to y should be 29.3 meters. And you divide those two numbers by 98.9 seconds. It comes out to be 0.44 meters per second in the y direction, and minus zero point 0.3 meters per second in the y direction.